Let's go, Peach.
This is everything.
They know that I'm crazy retarded. My shooters run down, no talking. I don't got time for the barking. Bitch, I'ma pull up and park it. Treat you like a blunt, I'ma spark it. They know that I'm crazy retarded. They know that I'm crazy retarded. They know that I'm crazy retarded. They know that I'm crazy retarded.
Peach Radio Show starts now. Let's go.
Take a moment to tap into PeachEnt. Download the mobile app. All the information is on my website, PeachEnt.com. Again, that's PeachEnt.com. Check me out. Also, follow me every single Sunday on Indamix Radio from 12 to 2.
Yes.
It's showtime. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Peach Radio Show, produced by PeachEnt. Home of the check-in, where I check into myself and share my lessons. So I hope that you check in with me. Also, this is the home of indie music. So if you are an artist, get your music played by emailing me at peers@peachent.com. That's Pierce, Peirrce, at peachent.com. So today's check-in topic will be on resilience. We're going to talk about how we were resilient. Well, at least I'm going to talk about it. You're going to think about it. So just take this moment now, check in with yourself, think about a resilient moment, and then we're going to talk about it. Well, I'm going to talk about it. Also, continue to follow and share Indamix Radio. Shout out to Patrick for the opportunity to share my brand. I am so happy to be here, and I am thankful on this Sunday. Now, before we get started, I need y'all, listen, sis, bro, whomever that's listening, if you're non-binary, you're welcome here. Pull out your mobile phones, and I need you to head over to your app store and download the PeachEnt Mobile App. You want to get it, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if you're listening on Indamix Radio, you hear the audio. But inside the mobile app, you get to see the visuals. Yes. Don't you want to see the visuals on these fire music videos that I'm playing? So head over again to your app store and download PeachEnt Mobile App. Now, let's get into this music. We're going to do things different this episode. I think I need a pick-me-up. So my first song of the day, and you might need one too. Some of y'all just might be waking up from that overnight party. I don't know what y'all did Saturday night, but I know I need a pick-me-up. So let's go into this music. New York by my baby Mosiah featuring Jason Harvey. Let's go.
Crazy. PeachEnt.
That's my ish.
Took long enough.
Beats by Jamaica Productions, baby.
I'm from New York. I'm from the city that never sleep. Homicide happen on every street. Pull up on niggas like 50 deep. I'm from New York. Coming through blazing in every hood. Chillin' with niggas in every hood. Hookah and Henny in every hood. I'm from New York, shitting me. All of these bitches are feeling me. Niggas and bitches be grilling me. Shitting me, kidding me. I'm from New York. I'm from the city that never sleep. Homicide happen on every street. Pull up on niggas like 50 deep. I'm from the Bronx, see the wall. Mystery body and seeing falls. Paying that money to Peter Paul. Peter Paul money be really long, head from you anymore. Benzo, crazy, niggas, shady. Calling her bros, Stacy said she was having my little bro baby. Fuck with 21 niggas that say it's a hot girl summer now. Looking like they getting dumber now. I bought a chain and I bought it for 20,000. Niggas don't know me now, whoa. Sight too heavy now, whoa. I get like 30 pounds, whoa. Yeah, been eating Philippe. He tryna buy me Philippe. He said my arm is petite. He really getting too deep. Niggas be thinking they J, okay. Talk about upgrading me, okay. Niggas be thinking they Drake, okay. I'ma need a new chain, okay. Matter of fact, a new range, okay.
I'ma be fucking your brains, okay? Okay. I'ma be fucking your brains, okay?
I'ma be fucking your brains, okay?
I'ma be fucking your brains, okay?
I'm from New York. I'm from the city that never sleep. Homicide happen on every street. Pull up on niggas like 50 deep. I'm from New York. Coming through blazing in every hood. Chillin' with niggas in every hood. Hookah and Henny in every hood. I'm from New York, shitting me. All of these bitches are feeling me. Niggas and bitches be grilling me. Shitting me, kidding me. I'm from New York. I'm from the city that never sleep. Homicide happen on every street. Pull up on niggas like 50 deep.
I'm from New York, I'm shit at the Q Bureau. I done witnessed a whole lot of homicide. Any question we say is a suicide. Niggas know how I move when they question, I'd rather die. Niggas, shady, laid up, lazy. These niggas be talking too much, you gon' fuck around and be pushing the daisies. I give a fuck if she having a baby. Snatch a bitch about her front to make it a bundle. Talking that shit, I'm here, see, we gon' be clear. Let them 2 shots in the air, see, I got the hood in here. I got the goons in here. 41st hot, see, I got the block in here. Pop off, we got Glocks in
I'm
here.
from New York. I'm from the city that never sleep. Homicide happen on every street. Pull up on niggas like 50 deep. I'm from New York. Coming through blazing in every hood. Chillin' with niggas in every hood. Hookah and Henny in every hood. I'm from New York, shitting me. All of these bitches are feeling me. Niggas and bitches be grilling me. Shitting me, kidding me. I'm from New York. I'm from the city that never sleep. Homicide happen on every street. Pull up on niggas like 50 deep.
That was my baby Mosiah. Oh my God. I'm from New York. Damn, y'all. Too bad your sis can't listen. I can't dance like these new kids, man. These kids be having all the dances, that go with that beat Mo was playing. I can't do none of that ish. So I guess all I have to do is just bop my head to it. I'm from New York. Well, I'm not technically from New York. I'm from New Jersey. All right. So right now, if you are watching the visuals, I am actually on my brand wall. And on it is one of my blogs, which is Would You Date Yourself? Now, everything I'm about to discuss here is inside the mobile app. All right. So that's why I'm telling you, you got to get it. It is fire. Everything peach, everything about the R Report Mag. Shout out again to Patrick. Is inside my mobile app. It's a one-stop shop for everything that goes on here. So let me just continue to share. So inside the mobile app, I have blogs related to each and every show. So what's featured right now is Would You Date Yourself? It's been up, I think, for about a couple weeks. So please excuse the house clean. I got a house clean. Just excuse my house, my mobile house. I got to do a little bit of cleaning because I had to transition into radio. So please forgive me. So there are various topics in there. Like one of my favorites is what do you expect from yourself? So you need to get in there and read that. What do you expect from yourself? And it's also a matching episode inside my app. Also, listen, I need you to go in and check in. Check in, tap in, and share your real life moments and what you learn. Please, please share. And let me tell you why it's important because it's always someone facing some type of adversity that you already solved. So if you go into the mobile app and click on the check-in blog, just click on it, share your story, share how you resolved it. And if it's fire, I will be sharing it on this show. Hell, I might even look you up and say, listen, sis, bro, like, come on to the show. That story is fire. That'll make an awesome topic. Let's chit chat about it, because I told you already in the previous show, storytelling is how we learn. Well, at least it's one of the ways. So please go and tap in to the check-in blog and share your stories. And men, please don't be shy because your stories matter. And I would love to hear them, and I would love to have you as guests on my show. Also, within the mobile app is ways to follow me again because I am on multiple social media platforms, right? And so instead of you just cruising all over the place, you could just go to the mobile app and I give you a direct link. You just click it and then you hit subscribe. Boom, that simple. And if you are a faithful or report magazine reader, you could download my mobile app. You could click on it, any of the articles you want to read, or you could just tap on it and go straight to the R Report magazine, in which yours truly is a writer. So, stay tuned. I'm doing a lot of things. And again, Patrick, I am honored to be a part of your team and helping you with your vision. So please, everyone, continue to like Indamix Radio. Continue to listen to me between the hours of 12 and 2 on Sundays. And support everyone else on Indamix Radio. Support us. We are indie. We're not indie artists, I guess. I guess we are indie storytellers, reporters. I'm the black indie Wendy Williams, I guess, the bootleg Wendy, or the bootleg Sherry Shepherd. I don't know. Just support me because I'm here. I'm here and I'm doing the thing. Now, I want to let you guys know I will be taking interviews and I'll do them on the show, right? So, in order for you to be a part, or if you would like to be interviewed, just email me, Pierce, PeirRRCE, at PeachEnt.com. Again, it's the same email. You're probably tired of hearing me say it, but I need to. And it's on the screen if you are actually watching the visuals. Pierce, PeirRRCE, at PeachEnt.com. All right. So that is everything that I wanted to share with you advertisement wise. So don't be shocked if I repeat it again. But I have to do the house cleaning. Now, after this music video, we're going to get into by Big Gov. We'll start to jump into our topic, which is resilience. And again, I need you to go close your eyes, go deep inside yourself, and put yourself in that moment where you had to be resilient, when you had to rise above the occasion, when you had to pull all the pieces together and make it happen. Stay in that space, right? After this Big Gov, Let Me Live, we're going to go into our topic, resilience. Let's go, Big Gov.
Big G-O-B, I ain't sucking nothing. Tripping.
I've been through it all, yeah. Highs, lows, selling back. You can bet I stay solid through it all, yeah. And I'm still here. I got the right for me to feel like I'm the one, yeah. Look at where we from, yeah. You can let me live.
They said I wouldn't be alive to see 25. Newsflash, I'm alive and watching my money rise. Gang full of funny guys. I ain't in the laughing mood. Handyman, I pack a tool. Show you what this ratchet do. I just wanna chill and get topped off. Buy a bad and bougie, brought a Gucci, ain't a knockoff. It's that too much to ask for? Nigga, what you mad for? You the one that wanna see a limit on my cash flow. Same nigga smiling in my face like congrats, bro, but throwing hella shade as soon as I turn my back, though. It's hard to remain humble when you have 1,000,001 niggas aiming at you. How can you not become an asshole? Looking at my past, yo, I ain't never ever going back, bro. Put that on everything I love, and on that note, I had to separate the real from the fake, the love from the hate, my dogs from the snakes, yeah. I'm out here chillin', plotting on millions, follow my vision. Now they callin' like, what's up with you, Gov? I see you got a little buzz, I'm trying to fuck with you. What time you hanging out? I'm trying to live it up with you. It's all love till you tell them spin a buck with you. That's when the true colors show. They start throwing subliminal shots and wonder why I walk around with trust issues. I used to have a clique of 50 niggas. 50 niggas eventually dwindled down to 10. And we in the trenches, getting to the chick is strictly business. Ballin' on niggas senseless, similar to the 04 Pistons. It's a fact when you do something great. Niggas hearts pump jealousy, eyes show envy. You spot it from a mile away. That's when you separate the real from the fake, the love from the hate, your dogs from the snakes, nigga.
We're going to look at what we call suggestibility.
The male-female dynamic. There's actually another way of thinking.
Oh, wow. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Check out Beyond the Mind, produced by PeachEnt, Fridays at 8 p.m. Time to check in, sis. Are you ready to go within? I am. What's up, everyone? So we are back. I hope you enjoyed Big Gov featuring Nisha Nashe. Let Me Live. And I think that is the perfect song to begin the topic of resilience, what it means to be resilient and how we have to function in this world to even just survive, right? So did you guys just see that commercial that was played? It's from one of the shows that I actually produce. It's called Beyond the Mind, where you can actually sit down and talk to two fabulous fellas, and they will help you through some of life's tough issues. Like, even if you have a problem with resilience or you're trying to change something about yourself, you need to tap in and watch Beyond the Mind Fridays at 8 p.m. Yes, I do produce shows. So, yeah, even if you want to stream a show yourself, please hit me up, Pierce at peachent.com. But yes, tap in every Friday. Go to my YouTube channel. It's at PeachEnt Brands and help yourself. I am all about self improvement. And again, checking in with ourselves, right? Because only you know what needs to be fixed internally. And why wait? So check out Beyond the Mind. So today's topic, resilience, right? Um, this was important to me to discuss on this Sunday because I was just thinking about the multiple times in my life I had to be really, really resilient, even when I thought I couldn't be. So allow me to share a moment in my life. And you continue to think about a moment in your life where you were resilient.
and share these stories like I'm about to share mine with you. You can even share my story if it'll help someone improve themselves. So, when I was 23 years old, right? Again, I am halfway 100 right now. But 23 years old, when I look back to that time in my life, I don't even understand how I even pulled through to get to where I am now. So at 23, I lost everyone. I lost my mother that raised me, which was my grandmother. I lost her in the beginning of the year. My father that raised me, which was my grandfather, I lost him in the middle. And then on Christmas Eve, I turned around and I lost my husband on Christmas Eve. 23 years old. And then to top it off, y'all, I had two children. They were like stair steps. One was in my arm, wasn't even one, and the other one was two, barely talking really well. So could you imagine at 23 years old losing your support system, losing, your husband, the person that helps you on the day to day? I can't even understand how I pulled myself up and was able to continue to function. And I mean, it just happened back to back to back. I didn't get a chance to really mourn my grandmother. I didn't really get a chance to mourn my grandfather. And then I had to turn around and deal with everything in between with the children and my husband, and then turn around and lose him. So I had to be really resilient, really, really resilient. And at the time, I was barely working a job that made enough money to pay all the bills. So thank God for the teachings of my grandparents, the things that you need in life. Because I was young, I could have been like most young people, just carefree, not thinking. But luckily, I listened. I had insurance that helped me get through those terrible times, you know, from my husband, my deceased husband. So that helped me financially. But the mental piece, thank God to good friends, for standing by my side. Shout out to my best friend who was there during that time, that had that ear, that had that time to spend with me. um, One thing I regret is not getting therapy. So if you're listening and you are going through something similar, don't be like me and try to push through, because our culture, the Black African American culture, or whatever you want to call yourself, it's frowned upon to get therapy. So I didn't, but I needed it. I'm sure I needed it at the time. So listen, that was a very dark and heavy space, but luckily I pulled through with the support of my friends, and I was able to persevere and be resilient and push forward. So that's one of my stories. Another time I had to be resilient is, I got married a second time, and my marriage ended 9 years ago, almost 9 years ago. And imagine, because I met him maybe a few months after the death of my husband. And he was a great friend, someone that was supportive and someone to talk to. And then I was with him up until almost 9 years ago. So imagine, the divorce, the separation, that was just a major loss, also. So I had to be resilient again in that moment, because I lost my support system. And, it's just not a financial thing, it's a mental thing. Luckily, this time I was wise enough to have a career as a peds nurse that helped me, when I lost the additional income from the divorce. And I was able to persevere again and manage my finances. And this time I wasn't foolish. I actually did speak to a therapist to help me get through, because again, it's, more loss. It's not death, but it's loss. It's loss of a person that actually knew me through and through. It was the loss of someone that was a friend, a loss of a companion. So, and I'm just glad at this moment that I had older children. And this time, three children, to which one was still in high school. So, but I feel blessed, that I actually learned from the first experience. I learned to I had to be more mindful about my finances. It brought me into the reality of you're not going to always have someone to lean on. It brought me into the reality of you might have to stand on your own, your own too, and rely on you, and try to heal yourself mentally, and also be a springboard for the little people that depend on you. It also taught me that, I have to relook at what I can bring to the table for myself. I had to let go of codependency. So I had to live the rest of my life trying to figure out who was I going to become, how was I going to maintain my lifestyle, that I would build, whether it was with someone, or without someone. And if they left, can I still sustain? So all of that happened at 23, and then it carried me over, and all of those things that I learned from that time period helped me to survive my divorce. And here I am, um, on Indamix Radio sharing all of this. Um, and I could probably say that I'm still here. And my children, they are doing well. They are happy, healthy people. And, we made it. I made it. But wow, during that time, I didn't know how I was going to make it. During my divorce, I'm like, okay, I can make it because I went through all of that so young. So in that moment, I was resilient. So let's talk about what is resilience. And I hope someone benefits from what I just said. So, resilience is the ability to adapt and cope with stress, adversity, or trauma, right? Because in that moment at 23 years old, I felt like I was faced with so much adversity. And yes, my stress level was through the roof. I tell you guys, assist, bro, if you're listening. It's no way in the world I could probably deal with that kind of stress right now, because when you halfway 100, your blood pressure. But as a young 23-year-old girl, my head used to be bumping. I was always worried, but I just kept pushing. Um, and so I'm reading from this little clip I have here, this photo. If you're watching the visuals, if you're listening audio, I'm reading everything that's on this clip, this photo. It says it is the capacity to bounce back and recover from difficult situations or challenges. That's what resilience is. Resilience can involve emotional, cognitive, and behavioral processes, and can be developed and strengthened over time through various strategies such as positive thinking, social support, and self care. Now, at 23 years old, I'm not sure if I was thinking about too much positive things, because right now, at that moment, I was in that doom and gloom space. This is 2000, when everything is transitioning, cell phones, dot coms, and all this other stuff. I'm just transitioning, trying to make it in the new world and learn things, and trying to raise my children. So it was just really, really, really hard. But I did have up here the social support. And I guess my form of self care was just taking moments to myself, and actually, after putting the kids to bed, feeding them, and coming home from work, just taking a moment to just breathe and have that little glass of wine and breathe. I also took moments to do something nice for myself. Like if I had a babysitter, I would go to the movies, or maybe I do a little bit of therapeutic shopping. I always did something for me, get my nails done. And I always told myself, this is just a moment in your life. I don't know how many more years you got, Pierce, but this is just a moment. And we're going to make it through this. So let me continue to read this photo. It says it is an important skill that helps individual overcome setbacks and navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease and confidence. Now, when you going through, um, I did not have confidence. At least I don't think so. Or maybe I should say I wasn't thinking about having confidence. All I cared about was my children becoming the best them. Um, my life was just on the back burner. So I wanted them to become, I wanted them to grow. I wanted them to have all the things that I had growing up. I wanted them to become whatever it is they desired to be. And I'm going to pat myself on the back because we made it. We made it. We made it. As a matter of fact, I am happy to share after the losses, after the divorce and all the things, my daughter, my youngest daughter, she is headed to med school in June at Howard University. So, shout outs to being resilient in a time where, and at an age where it wasn't expected for me to be. And I kept pushing, and now I'm going to have a med student. And currently, now I never would have thought that that young girl standing there with the two babies living in this one bedroom attic apartment will now be living in almost a $500,000 house. So, shout outs to me. Shout out to the people that supported me. I'm glad. I am thankful. I am thankful every day for my life. So we got to learn to be resilient. Now, how to build resilience? How do you build it, right? I know it's over time, and the older we get, at least most of us, the older we get, the more experiences we have, the more we put things into our tool belt to be able to handle things. So let me read this image. How to build resilience. So this is by Dr. Allison Block. She gives 5 factors that promote resilience if you feel like you're lacking. Number one is connection. It says build good relationships with friends and family, involvement in community, culture, school, charitable, or faith based groups, and internalizing a sense of connectedness. That's one way, build a connection. Like I said, for me, it was my best friend that I had for multiple years, and our grandparents were friends. So it's like I already had like I guess outside family dynamic, I guess. So not only did I have my bestie, I was close with her family, so it made things easier, and they also helped out with the children as much as they could, right? So build good relationships, friends. Keep my family was kind of far. Everybody lived in the South or lived 2 hours away. So they really couldn't help. But yeah, surround yourself with good friends, build good friendships. Friends are important, right? Good friends. I'm not saying those shallow, shady ones. Get you some good friends. Um, oh yeah, it's called chosen family nowadays. Build you a nice circle of chosen family that's surrounding you that can help you out. Now, the second that Dr. Allison Block speaks about is communication. ability to share, explain, explore, and understand. Also, the ability to reframe what has happened and develop insight and good judgment. Now, okay. So the ability to reframe what was happened. A lot of times, I know when my grandmother died, I said, okay, this is old age and cancer. And then when my grandfather died, this is him missing his wife, old age and heart disease. But then when my husband was killed, he was murdered. It's like this is unexpected. Why is this happening? Now, I had to reframe my mind. I had to look at it from an angle of this is an experience. This has nothing to do with me. I don't have bad luck. I don't have a curse or anything on me. You understand? Because we'll internalize things and try to connect it to us to make us feel worse when that's just not necessarily, it's not the case. Sometimes things just happen and it happens around us, to us, but it has nothing to do with us personally. So I had to learn that. I couldn't connect it with me. I am not the reason these things happening. And I couldn't stay in the woe is me space. I just had to reframe, like I just told you. This happened because of this disease. This happened because of that disease. This happened because there was a person that had some type of issue with my husband and killed him. Notice how I didn't take ownership of any of that. And I just accepted it as an experience going on in my life. And I needed to heal and I needed to grow and I needed to keep it moving for the children. And so I started to make a plan for me where it says develop of insight and good judgment. So with good judgment, you start to plan, you start to figure out your life and putting things in motion. Now, the third is confidence. Now, Ashley Block says positive yet realistic view of yourself. Accurate sense of your abilities. Recognition of what you have learned after a problem is resolved. Ability to visualize your goals and what you want. Believing you can influence how things turn out. Now, with the confidence piece, now that I'm reading that, maybe I did have confidence, but I wasn't recognizing it as that. Because after all of those things happened, I started to feel a sense of I am the master of my life. I control the destination. And just like I just mentioned, I begin to create a plan and follow through on it. What was the rest of my life going to look like? That's not to say that everything was on task with the plan, but I started there. I just started writing down and building my life and going in that direction that I wanted it to go. I took control. I visualized my goals. I visualized what I wanted. I knew what I wanted in that moment. So, confidence. So, the fourth is competence and commitment, ability to look at the big picture, ability to problem solve, following through, not giving up, working towards your goals every day. Thank you, Dr. Allison. Yes, 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 yes. Now, I called that being focused when I had to go through, right? Let's redirect where I was looking. Of course, at 23 years old, I could have sat and sulked and said, poor is me. Oh, whoa, poor me. Oh, I lost everything. I lost everyone. But I had to shift my focus. Like I told you, I had two children I had to care for. So I had to do a lot of problem solving. I had to shift the way I was thinking. I had to look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture wasn't me and what I wanted. The bigger picture was these children and how they were going to live and how was I going to provide it and who was I going to become, because I had to become somebody to be able to be a provider and to do all of these things, right? And I followed through and I didn't give up. So far we talked about connection, communication, confidence, competency, and commitment. And the last one is control. Managing strong feelings so they enhance relationships and productivity. Developing coping skills, not just quick fixes. Keeping things in perspective. Understand the role that your thoughts play in how you feel. Now, I love the last one, right? Um, because I was actually raised to manage emotions. Like my grandmother always told me, we're going to feel 101 ways, right? But we need to stop in the moment, understand what emotion you're feeling, understand why you're feeling it, and then make the proper judgment as to how you're going to react. Because if you just feel something and you just fly off the handle, you can F up a whole bunch of stuff. So I already had that in my tool belt, but to actually have to use it, it was a bit difficult. But I managed it and I learned. So let me give you an example. Just to repeat, I lost 3 people in 1 year. So, that's emotional turmoil. I could have been all over the place. Every time I thought about them, I could have just bust into tears and yelled and hollered and just been unconsolable and unmanageable. I could have did this at work. I could have did this while trying to build relationships with other people. But I had to understand, that it's a space and place for that. And those spaces and places needed to be something private and where I'm sorry, either private or in the company of someone who understood. I couldn't do those in the spaces where I was trying to build. So I learned to manage my emotions during that time. Um and it was difficult. It was very difficult. And it still is difficult now. Just to give some wisdom, I lost suffered losses maybe over 25 years ago, but it still, sits in my heart and I still be feeling these emotions that rise up and I still cope and I still deal. I've just learned to be better at it. As time went on, I developed my coping skills. But that was, basically what I wanted to talk about with you guys, being resilient, especially during this time with Trump and all of the things that's going on and inflation, and we're working these jobs and we probably necessarily are not making ends meet. This is the time to become resilient if you're not. And if you are resilient, share your coping skills with people that are less resilient. Not everyone has that mental fortitude that you have. Help someone out, do some things, refer them to this live stream so they can hear these points on how to become resilient. And again, like I said at the top of this, before I actually begin my spiel about resilience, I produce a show called Beyond the Mind that can help you to become resilient. Help you build it. But you have to follow me on YouTube, PeachEnt Brands, to watch it. 8 p.m. on Fridays. It's an excellent show. It helps you to reshape the mind without thousands of dollars worth of therapy. You'll get tools to add to your tool belt And you can actually come up on my show and tell me, did those modalities work for you? But yes, be resilient in this time, in this space. Teach your children how to be resilient, mothers, parents, because we're not going to always be here and they need to survive. So, when we go out later on in the show, right before it ends, I will play a nice video by Carl Jung. It's about resilience, and I know you're going to enjoy it. But before we get to all of that, I am going to go into my next music video. It's new, and it's by a fire artist. I love her so much. It's called Human by Miss Kelly.
I am love, I'm only human. 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 I am flesh, I am blood, I am life, I am love. I'm only human. I'm only human. I am joy, I am pain. We all bleed the same. Only human. Only human. I got love. I got power. I got feelings, emotions, loving, devotion. I'm human. I'm only human. I'm only human. I'm only human. I'm only human. I am flesh, I am blood, I am life, I am love. I'm only human. I am joy, I am pain. We all bleed the same. Only human. I got love. I got power. I got feelings, emotions, loving, devotion. I'm human. I got feelings, emotions, loving, devotion. I'm human. I got love. I got power. I am flesh, I am blood, I am life, I am love. I'm only human. I am joy, I am pain. We all bleed the same. Only human. I'm the sun, I'm the light, I'm the breeze in your life. Human. You're the stars in the sky, you're the dreams in my night. Human. I'm only human. I got love. I'm only human. I got power. I'm only human. I got feelings. I'm only human. I'm only human. I'm only human. I got joy in my heart. I'm only human. I got peace in my life. I'm only human. I got love. I'm only human. I'm only human.
Who gives a damn about the trending news?
No, that's right. You right. Let's go.
Investigation into the death of Ashley Robinson. Her family is demanding answers after the influencer from South Jersey was found dead during a trip to Africa where she had just been engaged. Action News reporter Cheyenne Corinne joining us live in the Satellite Center with more on this heartbreaking story. Cheyenne.
Alicia, well, Ashley Robinson, she actually was raised locally in South Jersey, and now her death in Zanzibar is making headlines across the world. Well, today we spoke to her family in Delaware who say they aren't getting answers from her fiance or officials in Tanzania about what happened to her.
Uncertainty, mystery, anger, um, sadness. It's like a part of me has been taken away.
On April 5th, influencer Ashley Robinson, who goes by Ashley Janae on social media, was celebrating her 31st birthday in Zanzibar, Tanzania. She was on the vacation with her boyfriend of 1 year, who popped the question just 2 days before.
We believe that they were in love. We believe that their relationship was genuine.
Ashley's mother says she never would have expected that less than a week later, her daughter would be dead. On April 8th, she says Ashley called saying she and her fiance got into an argument and were moved to separate rooms. The next day, she received another call, this time from her fiance.
He told me that Ashley did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital. I said, what happened when? And he told me it had been 11 hours prior.
Hours later, the luxury hotel the couple was staying at called saying Ashley passed away. According to the hospital's medical report, Ashley had an unidentified mark around her neck. They wrote, quote, according to the husband, he found she hanged herself on the door with several question marks.
Sometime Jill went back to the room with security, and that's how they found her.
Ashley was also taken to a second hospital who listed her cause of death as cerebral hypoxia by strangulation and suffocation.
She's never done anything that would ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself.
She was not just going to be discarded and forgotten about.
And the family, as you just heard, they are just desperate for information. They tell us that they are requesting surveillance footage from the resort. They also say that they have contacted police, the consulate, and embassy and have not heard back. No Action News, we also tried to contact Ashley's fiance, and we also did not get a response. The family says their next steps are going to Zanzibar themselves to try to get answers. We're live in the Satellite Center. Cheyenne Karen, Channel 6, Action News. Rick.
Oh, this daggone case, man. All right. So welcome to the news portion of Peach Radio Show. Of course, I'm sure everyone probably has heard of Ashley Janae by now. Ooh, in- influencer from my town, New Jersey, was reportedly, well, allegedly, she killed herself in Tanzania while she was out with her fiance, Joe McCain or McCann. Um, mm, 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 mm. Please forgive me. I am just taken aback about this. It's just a sad, sad, sad story. Um, I don't believe for a second that Ashley committed, you know what? I just don't. I believe that her fiance had something to do with her death. I don't know about you guys. Now let's talk about Ashley herself. Now, I am a YouTuber, right? I frequent these YouTube streets. I listen to all the stories. And one of the things I don't care for, especially about the African American, Black, FBA, whatever you call our community, we are always judging people um, when they end up in this type of circumstance. Circumstance, especially when it involves a Caucasian person. So now, in the YouTube streets, they're saying that Ashley was actually a bottle girl at a high end restaurant. They're also saying that she was an exotic dancer, an escort, all of the things that most people in our community continue to believe is seedy professions. But for me, I look at this as a girl straight out of New Jersey being resilient. Like she wanted to change her life. And so In the process of doing so, if you don't have the education necessary to do so or the opportunity, sometimes you end up doing these things that people consider as seedy, like the escort, like the exotic dancer, or a bottle girl, which I don't understand what's wrong with being a bottle girl or a waitress. Well, really, none of it. None of it. If it gets you to your goal. Again, resilient. We have to do the things that we need to do to become the person that we want to be. So I'm not sure exactly what Ashley's plans were, but I'm sure she didn't plan to end up dead in Zanzibar. I don't think unalived. I'm sorry. I don't think she planned to be unalived in Zanzibar. Now, also, I have been listening to a lot of commentary, and allegedly close people that were uh, in Ashley's surroundings, like her friends, I guess, associates, because Ashley lived a very social life. Allegedly, they're claiming that this guy, Joe, was an abusive person to her already. So I'm not sure how extended that was, whether it was verbal or he was putting his hands on her. But Imma tell you guys, from my perspective, from me watching the videos, from me looking at the photos that's been all over the news and on the internet, the first time I saw him, I was like, I think that this guy might be abusive. He looks like that type, like that controlling type. And just his movement since her her unaliving or her, alleged suicide or whatever, it just doesn't seem right. He just doesn't seem concerned. He's not, with this whole thing of the family raising money to get to Tanzania. If this guy had money, right? From my understanding, why would the family need to raise money if they were engaged, if they had a decent normalized relationship? Like, a lot of this just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm very interested into seeing where this story goes and how it lands. Now, another thing that I discovered about Ashley, again from these YouTube streets, she was associated with some entertainment superstars, right? She was with video with Kevin Gates. Joe Budden had a lot of nice things to say about Ashley, like, that was actually his homegirl. He hung out with her, they went to bars and clubs. Joe expressed how she was just a people's person, and she didn't discriminate, who she would be around. She was just a social butterfly. Like he said, she would be with nerds, geeks, rich people, in the entertainment scene. She knew about what was going on in the lifestyle. Like, she was just everywhere. So it doesn't make sense for a woman that's driving around in expensive cars winning, um, I'm sorry, not winning, driving in expensive cars, wearing expensive clothing, living a beautiful life, making plans. Why? Why would she unalive herself? Even the family is taken back. Like, she just wasn't, that type of a person. And as an empath, I'm sorry if you don't believe in that. As an empath, it's for me the feeling I'm not getting a person that was angry, upset, and ready to go. I'm getting victim of abuse. So, to my community, the Black community, particularly the men, and I was very upset. And this just upsets me, right? I saw videos where the black men in the community were saying this is what she gets for dealing with a white man. No one deserves to die. I'm sorry. And to the ladies that said, "Oh God, when you live that lifestyle, this is what happens." Imma say to you, no one deserves to die. "Oh, we knew she was an exotic dancer. This was bound to happen." I'm sorry. No one deserves to die. No one deserves to be unalived or just no one deserves that. So again, I can't wait to find out how this goes. Hopefully, this John McCann guy is found to be guilty. The details, we're still waiting on it. We're still waiting on the body to be released. I haven't heard as of yet um, if it was released to the family so they can get some investigations going. I do know that it says she died from sorry, for strangulation, asphyxiation. I'm sorry. That word has always been difficult for me to say. So it was some type of strangling or hanging or to which I'm leaning towards he strangled her to death. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure all of you have your perspectives as to what happened. I am looking at the photos of this beautiful young black New Jersey girl. Rest in peace, to her family. Condolences. No one deserves this. When I see this picture, I'm thinking about my girls. My girls are around her age. They are beautiful. They want all the wonderful things in life, you know? And I pray, that this doesn't happen to them, to my girls. And I'm praying that it doesn't happen to your girls. And forgive me for being upset. I'm literally here really just about to burst into tears because this young life is gone. Gone because of whatever reasoning. It's senseless. So let me read something from Yahoo Entertainment, right? It says the fiance, as it was reported, Ashley and him had disagreements during the hotel stay. So the hotel management team decided to separate their rooms. So the woman had her own room and the man had his own room. Police said Robinson was still alive when officers were notified and was transported to the hospital where she died the following day. Okay, so apparently after he proposed to her on video. Somehow they got into an altercation at the hotel, and the hotel management team must have thought it was just so severe that they needed to separate rooms. Now, I don't think screaming and hollering will warrant a hotel to just separate you, right? Because in relationships, sometimes we just don't get along. It had to be a little bit more deeper than just, a verbal altercation. I don't believe that. I don't think that would be enough. I mean, I've been on vacation with my ex-husband. We've argued. I can't for that. No hotel management didn't walk up and say, "Listen, you guys need to be separated into separate rooms." No, I think they saw something or they thought that he was about to do something to her. It had to be something severe going on to separate the room. All right? That's just my opinion. Again, this is the Peach Radio Show. I am allowed to have my opinion when it comes to this. All right. And so this part where it says the police, Robinson was still alive when officers were notified. Okay, so I guess they found her in her room. Um, apparently where she tried to commit, the suicide, and she was still alive. when the officers arrived and she was transported to the hospital where she died the following day. Now, it says previously her family said there was still no official determination and characterized the circumstances surrounding her death as suspicious. Robinson's father, Harris, said the suicide theory was presented to the family early on, but stressed that investigators have not yet proved them with a final ruling. Okay. So, said it was suggested suicide. I don't believe that for one bit. And it further says Robinson had traveled to Tanzania to celebrate her 31st birthday, only 31 years old, and became engaged to McCann during the trip. On April 3rd, she posted a video of the proposal during the safari. Now, again, I'm be on these YouTube streets. Now, I don't this young person YouTube culture where, they do things for likes and views and for the money because again, Ashley was a YouTube personality, an influencer, what they call it. I was listening to one YouTuber that gave an alternative theory that maybe they weren't proposed. There wasn't a real proposal. That probably was staged for YouTube. So I don't know how true that is, but if this is what's going on, then maybe we need to rein in some of these behaviors, these YouTube uh stories that we're doing, these unfactual ones for likes and clicks, because sometimes it's just not worth it. But again, this is my opinion, and regardless of whether it was real or fake, no one deserves to die. No one. All right. So it says her final post as an influencer onto Instagram was her showing herself feeding a giraffe beside rose petals, spelling out "Happy Birthday, Ash." She captured the image, tapped at 31, and I'm exactly where I need to be. That does not sound like someone that's going to unalive themselves. It does not. That sound like someone that was enjoying in life and was not melancholy and was where, like she said, where she needs to be. I'm here and I'm living and I'm getting engaged. I'm an influencer. Life is going well. And this is chapter 31. And I'm looking forward to other chapters. I'm sure she didn't think her life was going to end on this trip. So all right, so let me read this one last family statement, and we're gonna go ahead on into the next music video. But yeah, this is very, very disturbing to me. Ugh. So in the caption it says, "One moment she was celebrating love and life in true Ashley fashion, and the next she was gone." The family said in a statement. They added that the answered questions surrounding the case have made the loss even more difficult. So, my question to you guys, right? And you can answer it with yourself. Do you think Ashley actually unalived herself? Do you believe that? Or do you believe Ashley was a victim? Um, do you think Joe McCann did something to her? Or do you think it was something different that happened? Somebody on the resort? Do you think this was a ritual? Now, I was on a live stream with another YouTuber, and basically, one of his followers, his subscribers, commented that they believe this was a ritual, that Joe McCann was trying to go into a upper echelon in his life because there's rich, but then there is rich, and they believe that he sacrificed Ashley to become more wealthy. I don't know. You be the judge of this story. It just sounds so bizarre to me. A young 31-year-old woman life gone, all because she was resilient. She saw a way to get out of New Jersey. She tried to create a better life for herself. Of course, a lot of us wouldn't have went the path that she walked on, but I think we can all agree that she did not deserve to die, right? So let's move on from Ashley. Next week, I think I want to have a discussion about this singer David. Now that came up. I've been following that story ever since it came out last year, right? But now it's new information involving this case, man, and it's just sinister, right? And I'm getting all kinds of wicked vibes from him, like maybe he's some type of psychopath. Ugh, but that whole David thing, oh, it's giving me the creep. And to be honest with you guys, I'm starting to feel like there are some otherworldly beings walking around out here, right? You probably like, Peach, come on, girl. This is not the X Files, but listen, the way that I'm not even going to say he because he's not guilty, right? But the way that woman's body was done. Matter of fact, she wasn't even a woman. She was 14 years old. Found in the trunk of his car. Now, the recent news that I found out is that uh, one of her fingers was missing. They fucking poked into her lungs, and to poke into somebody's lungs, that's a slow death. That's just, oh. But anyway, we'll talk about David on the next show next Sunday. That way, I can bring more videos, more facts. Um, what is going on in this world, and then um maybe we could also tap in about what's going on in Louisiana about the father that killed his wife and all those children. There was it 8 children, and then yesterday I'm finding out about, well, was it the day before yesterday, a shooting, like a shooting at a mall. So it's just so much going on, and I think it's time that we check in with our families to make sure everyone in our homes, or surrounding us, in our chosen family, that their mental health is together. Like, if you know someone and you know they are mentally unstable, try to encourage them to get some help. It's nothing wrong with it. I'm very big on checking in. We gotta check in on people 'cause people are fucking losing it. And if you know someone in your family has a deeper psychological issue, maybe they are schizophrenic, it is nothing wrong. Don't be ashamed. Tap in with that person, and don't give up on them until they receive the medication and the resources and whatever they need. Trust me, I had to do it. I had to check in. My son, he's schizophrenic. Now, could you imagine if I just would have watched him spiral, all the things that could have possibly happened? He could have very well pulled a David on a girl, or he could have very well pulled a McCann on his girlfriend going on a trip. Allegedly, right? I just gotta say allegedly because again, we don't know if that man actually did that. But we got to check in. We got to get people this mental. They need mental health treatment. Don't sit back and watch somebody spiral because it can cost someone else their life or someone to be harmed. But that's my spill. So next week we're gonna get into for the news section of this, we're gonna talk about David. I just wanted to get a little bit more information. Rest in peace to Ashley Robinson or Ashley Janae. You didn't deserve that, baby girl. You didn't deserve that. I don't care what you were doing in life. However, you got your bag and whatever your plans are, you didn't deserve this. I don't believe you killed yourself, sweetheart. Um, and yes, and RIP to those children. And We're going to talk about it all next week in the news. It's just too much stuff this week. So let's get into this next music video, right? The news just always bother me. It always bothered me. And what's worse than the news is these fucking people on there, especially my people, that judge people like Ashley, that judge people that's unalive, that judge people because of the decisions they make, but they don't judge the circumstances prior, right? Like if the person had mental health issues, why are we judging that no one in his immediate circle or her immediate circle got them help? If you knew Joe McCann was whatever his name, McCann was abusive, why nobody got him help? It's always some type of preventative measures that could have happened prior, right? But anywho, let me move on because I'm getting upset. Mental health, please check into your mental health. Let's get into this next music video by my friend Delacroix. Fabulous Life. Let's go.
Crazy.
PeachEnt.
That's my ish.
Shine, shine, shine. I'm vibrating these diamonds. You ain't about this climbing. You ain't about my climbing. I'm about my gold, I'm ruthless. I'm humble, ain't gon' flex it. Won't catch me stressing exes. I'm flexing on my haters. No question about it, I get catered to. No question about it, I done hated fabulous life. No question about it, I done hated fabulous life. Fabulous life. Good morning affirmations. I'm strutting down in Gable. Hood on my back is crazy. Cause I was born to shine. And I'm so built to fly. I live up for the applause. And the light is mine. I've been searching on my own. Dancing to the beat of my drum. I could get nasty with it. But I'm out here classy with it. I don't waste time on you. Shine, shine, shine. I'm vibrating these diamonds. You ain't about this climbing. You ain't about my climbing. I'm about my gold, I'm ruthless. I'm humble, ain't gon' flex it. Won't catch me stressing exes. I'm flexing on my haters. No question about it, I get catered to. No question about it, I done hated fabulous life. No question about it, I done hated fabulous life. Fabulous life. What competition? What? My shoes don't flake back. Girl, I'm out here baking. What? My cake is real. Y'all know I do this. All I do is shine, 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 yeah. Shine, shine, shine. I'm vibrating these diamonds. You ain't about this climbing. You ain't about my climbing. I'm about my gold, I'm ruthless. I'm humble, ain't gon' flex it. Won't catch me stressing exes. I'm flexing on my haters. No question about it, I get catered to. No question about it, I done hated fabulous life. No question about it, I done hated fabulous life. Fabulous life.
Play the next banger.
That's my ish.
What's the point in being different if they gon' hate on you anyway? I tried to be like y'all, but it messed with my spirit in a different way. I lift my head up to the sky, what's my purpose? And if I sell out for this bag, is it worth it? Treat my morals and my values like they're worthless. For a rollie in a wall full of purses, nothing even matters to me anyway. Nothing even matters. That shit, it never mattered to me anyway. It never mattered. I keep a dollar and a dream on me. I keep a dollar and a dream on me. I know I'm complete. I keep a dollar and a dream on me. I keep a dollar and a dream on me. I know I'm okay. See, it's okay when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it. Then I'm too solid to go through this and put me down when I'm not with them but against them. Then tell lies because the enemy is vengeful. Yeah, you won't knock me off my tempo. No, I'm protected by my ancestors. You can't touch a child of God. You can't touch me, can't touch me. No, you can't. I keep a dollar and a dream on me. I keep a dollar and a dream on me. I know I'm complete. I keep a dollar and a dream on me. I keep a dollar and a dream on me. I know I'm okay. I just want you to be you and let me be me. I know I'm complete. I just want you to be you and let me be me. I know I'm complete. I keep a dollar and a dream on me. I keep a dollar and a dream on me. I know I'm complete. I know. I keep a dollar and a dream on me. I keep a dollar and a dream on me. I know I'm okay.
You know, I think I like the same sex.
People from my background.
Because some families do throw you out.
It's time for LGBTQ plus news in black.
Most, but I do a
And even then, they're a fucking mess. Because if I hear fucking Billy Porter give his Donnie McClurkin story one more fucking time, I swear to God, I'm cutting off shit.
What's up? What's up, y'all? Listen. Oh, I'm sorry. Listen. So we are into this. Damn, I'm still again, I'm sorry. I'm still caught up with this Ashley Janae thing. Is really bothering me. I can't wait till they actually the police resolve this case so we can find out. But let's get into this LGBTQ plus in black, which is a show stemmed from my nonprofit. Yes, not only is Peach a radio host on Indamix Radio, I also am the founder of two nonprofits. One of which is IME Inc., which is a LGBTQ plus nonprofit where I actually produce shows. One of which is in black. It's a LGBTQ plus show, and we discuss topics in black. Um, if you are interested in watching, go to at LGBTQ in black on YouTube, or you could just simply go to at IME Inc. 234. Also, check out the website, imecorp.org, for all details. On the website is merch, it's advertisement for the next show, it's events, and more. Now, if you are an ally to the community, this is what makes this show so awesome because you get to learn and ask questions. You don't have to assume
This is a safe space for you to say, hey, I don't understand this about the community. Or let me ask a question about the topic that you're discussing. Now, what you heard earlier was a clip from our show, Mask versus Film. Why are we still divided? Is where we talked about um, our views on the community, and we also spoke about, are we mirroring heterosexual relationship. So it was a very interesting show. You could catch it on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. It's streaming on my platform at PeachEnt Brands. Like I keep telling y'all to follow, like, and share. Also, it'll be in my mobile app where you can actually watch it. So download the PeachEnt mobile app. I'm gonna continue to play this clip. One of the panelists, Andre, is speaking. Accent. Well, actually, I'm sorry, answering one of the questions. I can't quite remember it now, but he's talking about Billy Porter in this. um, Again, this is from the show Mass versus Film. Why are we still divided? I'm going to play the rest of his clip, and then we're going to get into more music.
2.9 million other fucking people.
Mm-hmm.
When do you get therapy and get through it? Stop using that to help catapult your career. Because I believe what you speak into the atmosphere, oh, that keeps coming back to you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to keep playing victim, God going to be like, oh, you ain't got over this yet? You right, you a victim. But when do we, okay, you, Uncle Cleo touched you. That's cool. Did you ever tell your daddy to whoop Uncle Cleo ass? Hell, when you got old enough to whoop Uncle Cleo ass, did you whoop Uncle Cleo ass? Because you owed him an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Like certain things I just don't feel sorry for no more. I'm just like, nah, baby. I used to feel sorry for people like that, but after Donnie told his story 150,000 fucking times and still in the closet, and now you got Billy Porter doing the same exact thing with that fucked up head of his, and you got all this goddamn money. I know you sick, baby, but goddamn, get a good pressing iron. That shit works. And some iron drops. Let's stop using what we've been through as the excuse of why we can't grow. And for God's sakes, be a fucking human. You too grown to want to be some shit that's on TV making money because they ain't got shit else to do with their life but look like.
All right, that was Max versus Film. The person that you heard was panelist Andre, one of the 5 panelists that's on the In Black LGBTQ plus show. I mean, listen, if you are an ally, you need to tune in. It's an awesome show. You will enjoy it. LGBT tap in. It's an awesome show. You will enjoy it. Oh man, I believe the question was, let me see if I can find that question because you're probably like, what is he answering? Um, oh goodness. All right, so I believe the question was, do gay men feel pressure to be okay with open to keep a partner? No, that's not one. Oh, open relationships. No, that's not the one. I'm sorry. I believe that that question was something about being masculine and sort of like the responsibilities and being a mask is. Oh, no, 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 no. Sorry. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. The question was, is being masked or film performative behavior? Is it realistic or is it being performative when you see men acting like females and films acting like males? Is it performative behavior? So that was the question. I'm sorry. I was actually reading you a question from our topic on relationships, right? So just check out In Black Tuesdays at 8 p.m. ish. You could check it out on at PeachEnt Brands on YouTube, or at IME Inc. 234 on YouTube, or at LGBTQ in Black on YouTube. If you're looking to get involved with the nonprofit, which is IME Inc., go to IME Inc. corp.org. So yeah, I just wanted to tap in and share my world with you. Again, I told you I produce shows. So I've introduced you to In Black, LGBTQ plus in Black, and Beyond the Mind. I hope you follow Peach ENT Brands because it's a lot of awesome things going on. So now let's get into our next music video. It's by one of my friends. I love her dearly. It's Go by Delacroix. Check this out.
Delacroix, girl, I know you are not laying down. Get up.
For what?
Girl, you gotta get up and go. You gotta take care of you, mama.
And go where?
Girl, come on and get up. Girl, come on. Stop playing.
Take care of you. Take care of me. Your path you choose. Happiness is free. All you gotta do is go, go, go. Let it keep it free, go, go. What you wanna do, just go. The world is waiting for you. You better do what I do, gotta do what I do, yeah. You already know you can do it on your own. Go into the unknown. Don't you ever think about stopping? Don't think about it. Know you've been through a lot and you're feeling like your life is ending. You can't give up, never, cause it's getting better. You're gonna be a winner. Oh yeah, yeah. Take care of you. Take care of me. Your path you choose. Happiness is free. All you gotta do is go, go, go. Let it keep it free, go, go. What you wanna do, just go. Get it all you got now. It's time to make a move. You know what to do. Gotta have a winning attitude, yeah. We can make this thing happen. Keep it strong, just keep trusting in you. Time is not on our side. We gotta win, let's stay in this fight. I've been waiting all my life for me to shine my light. What's the point of a car you don't drive? Having wings but you don't try to fly. Having all this fire inside. What's it for? You gotta rise. What you wanna do? Just go. Get it all you got now. All you gotta do is go, just go. Let it keep it free, now go. What you wanna do? Just go. Get it all you got now.
Play the next banger.
That's my ish.
Put that pussy on a pedestal. Put that pussy on a pedestal. Yeah. Put that pussy on a pedestal. Put that pussy on a pedestal. Yeah. Tell that boy what it is. If your pussy got the power, then show him what it is. If you all about $1, then hustle for your bread. Just remember you a queen, don't forget. Yeah, I'm talking to my lady. Put that pussy on the throne. Yeah, your body is a kingdom and your swag too grown. If you want up all a dollar, fuck a hater, you a queen. And that pussy grab that. It's so mean. Yeah, she's so focused, baby. Going for her own, you should know this, baby. Get into the money fast, don't play this slowly. This pussy got power, it's the one and only. Put that pussy on the pedestal. Put that pussy on the pedestal. Get it, yeah, get it. Put that pussy on the pedestal. Put that pussy on the pedestal. Get the money, get the pussy on the pedestal. The money, get the pussy on the pedestal. The money, yeah, the money, get the money, put that pussy on the pedestal. The money, put that pussy on the pedestal. The money, check her out, she got that good. Cookie so damn sweet, I like the backwood. She got that drip. She know her queen shit. She know her team lit. She know you need it. She provides all things. The hustle is maintained. The style is so laid. The look is so slayed. She got a full clip. She a loaded gun. Nothing a nigga can fuck with. Yeah. That's how that boy what it is. If your pussy all powerful to make them understand. Take control of the situation. Take it to the head. Just remember you a queen. Don't forget. I'm talking to my lady. She's so focused, baby. Going for her own. You should know this, baby. Came for the money fast, but planned it slowly. This pussy got power. It's the one and only. Yeah. Put that pussy on the pedestal. Put that pussy on the pedestal. Get it, yeah, get it. Put that pussy on the pedestal. Put that pussy on the pedestal. Get the money, get the pussy on the pedestal. The money, get the pussy on the pedestal. The money, yeah, the money, get the money. Put that pussy on the pedestal. Put that pussy on the pedestal. The money,
I keep that pussy on a pedestal. I'm the goddess, I'm just looking for the general. Keep that nani on pineapples, nice and edible. Pussy too sweet, I turn that nigga diabetical. I'm hella dope, hella independent on a mission. With all my money making misses who don't need permission. You see, we got it, so we flaunt it, and we leave them wishing that we can make the cocky disappear like a magician. Alakazam, then alakazoo. Got better plans to get to these bands and touch revenue. These niggas wanna get in the gams to check up the deuce. But I just wanna sit on the throne, then I'm cutting you loose. Waking up, I'm flawless more than ever in the morning. I be touching benches even when I'm stretching yawning. All my real queens get down on the floor. We ain't finished hustling until we know we own it, own it. I put that pussy on the pedestal.
Put that pussy on the pedestal. Get it, yeah, get it. Put that pussy on the pedestal. Put that pussy on the pedestal. Get the money, get the pussy on the pedestal. The money, get the pussy on the pedestal. The money, yeah, the money, get the money. Put that pussy on the pedestal. Put that pussy on the pedestal. The money,
Yes, that was Marcus G featuring Songbird, the goddess, Pussy on a Pedestal. That's one of my faves. I know y'all like that. Put that pussy on a pedestal. It's the goddess. Yeah, y'all loved it. Y'all loved it. Y'all felt it. Anywho, so, oh my God, this has been one hell of a show, right? So I do have a few more music videos before we close out, and I hope you stay tuned because I do have that Carl Jung video on resilience. It's a lot of gems inside of that video that I need y'all to listen to. So before I actually let you go, or this will be the last time until next Sunday you hear my beautiful voice, I want to thank you all for joining me. Again, remember to follow at Peach ENT Brands on YouTube. Don't forget to download my mobile app. So pull out your phones once again. Go to the App Store, search for Peach ENT, download it so you can keep up with everything Peach. It's all in the mobile app. Everything from the R Report magazine, where I am a writer, and you'll get the latest in entertainment news. It's all within my mobile app. Also, remember to be resilient. Teach your children to be resilient, right? Because as parents, as sisters, siblings, as whatever, whatever capacity you show up in someone's life where they are dependent on you, you're not going to always be here. So remember to teach resilience, show up in resilience because people are watching. Um, Again, RIP to Ashley Janae, that beautiful, resilient. Let's put that word in there. That beautiful, resilient sister that was born in New Jersey, that made it out, got out into this world, and gained access to expensive clothing, fashions, becoming a freaking known influencer, a socialite in the entertainment industry. And fuck all the other things that she did to get there. Just know that our girl did it. She got to the bag. RIP to that baby. And if it is proven that Mr. McCann old ass did something to Ashley, may he rot in the prison that they place him in, right? Because I'm a firm believer that he did so. Also, next week, we're going to talk about that sinister David character. Like, even the way he spelled his name is sinister. Go and check that out. Let's also pray for the babies that got killed by their father. I believe it was their father or their stepfather in Louisiana. And prayers for the people that were shot up in that mall, I believe it was in Louisiana. So let's continue to pray. Um, Also, do me a favor, if it's someone, your loved one in your chosen family or your immediate family, anywhere in your circle, within your grasp, that you believe need mental help, have that conversation. Encourage them to seek the help that they need, because we can't have people out here roaming around overly or under medicated or just not medicated at all, because it runs a risk of them hurting us. And we already have enough problems that we have to resolve and be resilient. We don't need any more trauma, right? All right. So let's move on. Again, thank you for joining me. I'm going to close this out with our next music video. I played it last week. It's one of my favorites. If you listen to the wording, it has lots of gems in it. It talks about money and how it killed everyone and how things just, it's just conscious music. We can't always listen to trap. We can't always listen to dance music. So Money Kill Everyone by Phyllis Cypher. And then you'll get that Carl Young video about resilience. Until next week, next Sunday, 12 to 2 on Indamix Radio. Stay safe, stay prayed up, and stay resilient.
Play the next banger.
That's my ish.
Movie.
Wise out. Smash, bro. Alpha. We don't want it. We don't need it. Got us dying for our freedom. People starving, they won't feed them. Got us dying for our freedom. We don't want it, we don't need it. Got us fighting for our freedom. People starving, they won't feed them. Got us dying for our freedom. We don't want it, we don't need it. Got us fighting for our freedom.
Money killed everyone. Presidents, scientists, musicians, civil rights leaders, priest children. Money killed everyone. Money funds wars and weapons, viruses and disease. Money pays for the manipulation of you and me. But money doesn't pay for those that's in need, because the ones that run money are too bombarded with greed. Money kills people every day, because there's no money in a cure, or so they say. Especially if you're a minority or, God forbid, you're poor. Laws are even different, depending on your credit score. Money killed my grandmother, let her rot and decay. Cause see, with a cure to cancer, they can't make money that way. Money kills people with HIV. Some people were infected intentionally. Do your own homework.
Be a detective for yourself. And you'll find that these man-made disasters were consciously dealt. And then you rethink any government help. Money makes women judge character from man-made wealth, while men do things always looking for false self and wealth. Man-made illusions. No wonder our generation is full of drug users, or even drug sellers. Misrepresentation. See, all they're doing is selling you self-mutilation. See, money isn't a friend of mine, cause all money does is conquer and divide. So the next time you hear someone boasting about their five, man, know that this is one of the most insecure persons alive. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting things for yourself, but the best yet hardest task is knowing your loving self. Think about these words the next time you're dreaming of wealth. And then think to yourself, why do you want these things in spite of something else? What lies behind you wanting things that carry no weight or substance? Maybe that's why you get up early to go to a job you never wanted. Money.
6. The power of resilience. When the scattered fragments of your life begin to click into place, and you can finally see the bigger picture, you will realize something even more important than vision. What allows you to stand steady enough to carry that vision? Understanding your life is one thing. Living long enough not to collapse when life tests you is another. And this is what early achievers often lack, while late bloomers often have in abundance: the power of resilience. The resilience of the rare type is not something glamorous. It is forged quietly, through years of falling with no applause and getting back up with no one watching. You have started over so many times that starting over has become a survival skill, no longer a source of shame. And that is exactly what creates a very different kind of psychological endurance. The endurance of someone who has learned to make it through long nights without anyone lighting the way. The experience of falling, getting up, falling again doesn't only produce toughness. It produces a kind of wisdom that only pain can teach. Each time you fail, you learn to tell the difference between what is essential and what is merely appearance. You lose a job and realize, so I can still breathe. You lose a relationship and realize, so I don't die just because I was left behind. You are rejected, misunderstood, and misjudged, and you still keep going. At first, each fall feels like a sentence, but later it becomes a lesson. You begin to see that the most painful thing is not failure itself, but the belief that failure defines who you are. When that belief collapses, you become freer. Some people enter life as if a carpet has been rolled out for them. They easily land good jobs and stable relationships without having to struggle much. Yet that very smoothness can sometimes make them weaker without them knowing it. Like a plant raised in a greenhouse, it grows fast and looks bright, but one real gust of wind can break it. Because they have never lived through a shock that forces them to understand what life is made of. They have never lost enough to learn what cannot be taken away. But you have. You didn't choose it, but you went through it. And it has turned into a kind of armor. Resilience also creates something rare, the ability to stand firm in uncertainty. Most human suffering does not come from the event itself, but from the fog that follows it. What now? Where will I go? If you haven't lived through enough breaks, you will cling to anything that feels certain, even if it isn't right. You will rush into a path simply to escape the feeling of hovering in midair. But those who have fallen and risen many times begin to develop another inner skill. They don't need all the answers immediately to keep living. They can endure the feeling of not knowing. They don't panic just because the future hasn't taken shape yet. They know how to separate two things: natural fear and the panic manufactured by imagination. So when a crisis comes, they are often the ones who can keep their emotions in check and balance, because they understand one truth. In uncertain seasons, the most important thing is staying lucid enough not to choose wrong just because you're afraid. There is also something very practical resilience gives you. You are no longer terrified of losing everything, not because you disrespect loss, but because you have started from nothing before. You have watched your account hit rock bottom. You have watched your plans collapse. You have had to rebuild from zero, sometimes from less than zero. And once you know how to do that, losing it all is no longer the end of the world. It becomes a stretch of road with an ending point. And this creates a massive advantage in the second half of life. You dare to do what others don't dare. Resilience in the late bloomer also has another form: the ability to self-repair. You understand your mind, your body, and your limits. You know when to rest and when to push. You recognize the signs that you're heading the wrong way. Resilience doesn't turn you into hard stone. It turns you into bamboo, able to bend, yet difficult to break. And this is why it connects directly to your ability to peak later. Because reaching your peak doesn't only require talent or foresight. It requires the capacity to endure, to carry the pressure of a new version of yourself, a new future. Some people are very capable and very intelligent, yet when a truly big opportunity arrives, they hesitate because they have never carried anything heavy, and so they ruin their own timing. Endless procrastination, excuses to retreat, or self-made chaos so they won't have to face stepping onto a higher rung.
Let's go, Peach.
This is everything. They know that I'm crazy retarded. My shooters run down, no talking. I don't got time for the barking. Bitch, I'ma pull up and park it. Treat you like a blunt, I'ma spark it. They